Good morning, boys and girls. Because of the weather today, I've decided to put our AWANA lesson on video, and this is something that you can watch there at home. So I want to start out by asking you a question, and I actually want you to answer me out loud, even though I won't be able to hear you. Maybe your parents or brothers or sisters are there, and you can say these things to them. So, what is something that you are good at? What is something that you are good at? So take a couple of seconds, think about something that you're good at, and then say it to somebody that's there around you. Okay? What is something that you are good at? Are you good at a particular sport? Are you good at a subject in school? Are there some jobs that you are good at accomplishing? So what is something that you are good at? And then I want you to think about this. Is that something, that sport or that subject at school or whatever it is that something that an elephant could be good at? Is that something that a bird could be good at? Probably not, right? There are lots and lots of things that they're good at, like, right, birds can fly and we can't. But nevertheless, there are many, many things that humans are good at, boys and girls and moms and dads are good at, that animals, they're no good at those kinds of things. They can't do the math, right? Or they can't do those particular sports or those skills. Why can't animals possess some of those skills? Maybe we could think about it this way. What are some other things that set us apart from other creatures and makes us different as individuals? Well, the answer to that really is found in the book of Genesis, where it says that God created man and woman in His own image. God created humanity in His image. So let me read for you Genesis chapter 1, verse 26. Then God said, "Let us make man," or humanity, "in our image, after our likeness. And let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the birds of the heavens, and over the livestock, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creeps on the earth." So what does it mean, boys and girls, to be made in God's image? Well, it means a couple of things. First of all, it means that we can think, right? We have the ability to think about things, to remember things, to think about math, to think about the words that we say, to think about how what we do might affect somebody else. We have the ability, sometimes this is called the capacity for reason, or the ability to think. Another thing that it means that we are made in the image of God, boys and girls, is that we know the difference between right and wrong. Partly through learning this from your parents, but also just because of your own heart, boys and girls. You know the difference between right and wrong. You know that it's wrong to hit your sister or your brother, right? You know that it's wrong to lie and steal. We know the basics of what is called morality, or sometimes it's called ethics. We know the difference between right and wrong, and that's because we are made in the image of God. God has planted that truth down into our hearts. Also, one of the things that it means to be made in the image of God is that we have feelings. You know, it's possible for us to have joy. It's possible for us to love someone or something. Also, it's possible to have or experience sadness. It's because we are made in the image of God that we can experience those feelings. And also because we are made in the image of God, we can have friendships. We can know somebody and like them and enjoy hanging out with them and playing games with them and talking to them and praying with them even, and having them pray for us. So we can have friendships. And so, boys and girls, this idea, which some of you are going to have a lesson about in your AWANA books, this is AWANA TNT Lesson 3.1, by the way. You're going to have a lesson about what it means to be made in the image of God. Now, I do want to give a couple of instructions. So this is instructions. Let me start with TNT. So boys and girls, if you're watching this video, it's because we had to cancel church. And now you can go through your lesson for section 3.1 and you can say your verse to your parents. And if your parents sign off on it, we will count that in the records for next week, and we'll move on to Lesson 3.2 for next week. And then for our Sparkies, usually what we do is we say that you can do the next 3 sections and have your parents walk you through those if you need a little bit of help, and you can say those next 3 verses to your parents, and they also can date and sign your book, and we'll put that into the records next week when you come. So, boys and girls, God bless you. I hope that we don't have to show this video, but if we do, God bless you, and you can, at some point during the day today, as your parents guide you, you can go through your Sparks lessons and your TNT lessons. All right, you're dismissed.